All right, call the meeting to order for the Planning and Zoning Special Meeting, October 30th, 2023. And we rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. To start off, we'll do
Go ahead and do roll call.
roll call. Yep.
Stephenson.
Here.
Hampy.
Here.
Kibbe.
Here.
And Ross.
All right.
And
Okay.
let the record show Ross said he's here through chat.
All right, this is a special meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission. We only have one item on the consent calendar today, and that's the Montrose PUD and Subdivision Amendment Reasoned Decision, file number PUDA 22-1 and SUBD 22-10. This went out to the commission members, but we'd want to just kind of go over it briefly since it is the only thing on our agenda. So you have a chance to review it. Has everyone had a chance to look over this? And then I will have Mr. Manley do just kind of a brief overview of the criteria and the conclusion.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so you want me to, so with this reasoned decision, you can see here the request was for you to, it was to approve the major amendment to the overall PUD and subdivision, in that what they were looking for was an increase of their lot coverage for the PUD to go from what's typically 40% lot coverage to 50% lot coverage. You know, within that, you do see the documented discussion here and citing of theirs that 40 to 50% is part of the proposal for phase 4 and 5. You also did see that there was a reduction in the density. There's a reduction in housing units because they're removing some of the higher dense pocket housing product in exchange for some single family lots. Also seen on the record, engineering did not see any conflict with the proposal. There's some of the criteria that was reviewed. The first criteria is looking at whether or not the PUD provided for adequate utility service and parking and services for the proposal.
Yeah, and I would just hit, there was a PUD subdivision conclusion.
And then you can see here, there's the other criteria. The second criteria is making sure that it was integrated with the transportation network. We looked at whether or not the PUD provided and enhanced the community by design. It was acknowledged that this PUD is pretty much in pre-existing and wasn't changing much of that aspect of what was originally approved. Fourth criteria is looking at whether or not looking at the future completion and maintenance. Nothing really changed from the original approval. Here's the review criteria for the subdivision aspects of it. You can see here, there's the first 4 review criteria on the slide here, looking at making sure there's water supply, sewage supply, all of which those things didn't change with the proposal. Same with the streets and transportation network. Here's the other criteria here, 4, 5, and 6. Nothing of the proposed change really on that. Here's criteria 7. There's the map map there. We looked at some timing. There was acknowledgement of the timing of when dedications and when those sections may be modified. Then there's the conclusion. Basically for the PUD, based upon the record placed on the commission, testimony received at the property, notice public hearing. It is the conclusion of the Post Falls Planning and Zoning Commission that the request Montrose PUD amendment PUD 22-1 meets the standards of the city code and Idaho Local Land Use Planning Act and hereby is approved. And then for SUBD 2210, based upon the record placed on the commission, the testimony received at the property, notice at the public hearing, and with the imposition of the above cited conditions, it is the conclusion of the Post Falls Planning and Zoning Commission that the request Montrose 2022 subdivision SUBD 2210 meets the standards of city code and the Idaho Local Land Use Planning Act and hereby approved with conditions contained herein.
All right. I think that's it, right? Do any of the commission members have any questions?
Here, I'll bump over to the Zoom. That way.
There we go.
No questions for me.
All right, if there's no questions, I will entertain a motion on the consent calendar, please.
I move to approve the consent calendar as presented.
Okay, we have a first. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right, we have roll call, please.
Stephenson,
Yes.
Hampe,
Yes.
Schlauhauer,
Yes.
Walton.
Yes.
All righty. That is the only item on the agenda. Anything else, Field or John, that we need to discuss today?
There's none.
All right.
Thanks for making it happen.
Yeah, thank you. All right. Make a motion for adjournment.
I motion to adjourn.
All right. We are adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.